In this video I want to show you how I pack my bag on a multi-day hunt. So we're here on a sheep hunt. We're close to the tail end of our hunt here, and we're heading out now. I just wanted to show you some of the things how I configure and my pack and the stuff that goes in it, so I can have a well-balanced load and manage some of the weight as well as the different gear that I want to have access to. So in thinking about gear I want to have access to, the first thing is on the outside pocket here. Most packs have sort of a kangaroo pocket on the outside. I have my rain gear and my pack cover in here, both of which I want to have quick access to should it start raining. I want to throw that on right away to stay dry, and so I have it accessible on this outside pack. On this little pocket here, which is this is another quick access pocket. It's got my bug dope and a headlamp in it, and a few extra little bits and pieces that I want to have access to while I'm hiking along. As far as loading the pack, near the bottom of the pack, I want to take relatively middleweight or relatively lightweight bulky stuff, and I want to stuff it down in the bottom of my pack. So that stuff, like my tent here, it's a bit damp, it's a bit bulky. My sill tarp is a little bit wet as well. It's going to go down at the bottom of the pack. Now in the center of the pack, up against your back, is where you want to pack your heaviest stuff. So if you have a big old bag of food and gear, that's where you want to put this stuff. So for me, now we're down to maybe a couple days food left here, and it's got my stove and gas in it. That's going to go in here. Towards the top of the pack, I want to put my sort of lighter stuff, volume stuff. So I've got my sleeping bag and my thermarest, and a couple extra bits of clothes, so they can go maybe near the top. So I've got medium weight bulky here, heavyweight stuff right against my pack, and then lighter medium weight stuff at the top. I'm gonna get this all stuffed in here, and I'm gonna keep chatting with you here. I use dry bags to organize my gear. Like all my food's in a dry bag, which is handy because it's just one bag out of my pack. I can tie a little rope on it, hang it in a tree. I can leave it behind if I'm gonna go day hunt with just my backpack. So it just keeps everything really organized. And then of course for my dry gear, I want to keep it dry as best I can, whether it's in my pack or sitting next to my tent. It's in a dry bag, so any extra clothes or bedding gear is going to stay dry. The other thing that's handy about these dry bags is that if I do get an animal, I'm going to end up having to break it apart and put it into, what I'll end up doing is probably putting it in the dry bag for the transport out, and that just contains all of the meat and everything like that. It keeps everything nice and clean. So I'll just stuff my bedding into the bottom of my pack, and then I'll put the meat in here and put it next to my back about midweight in the pack, and make the trek out. So super handy system for that. Okay, on most packs you're going to have this top pack, which is going to give you easy access to some gear. So for me, I happen to have two pockets up here, and I've got some things that I want to have quick access to, like my toque and my gloves, my compass. I've got my inReach up here, which is important to have quick access to that should you have a fall or slip. You want to be able to reach into your pack easily and get a hold of it and send a signal if you need to. The other thing I put up top here is I put my lunch for the day. So all the grub that I want to have access to, throw it in up top so I can get at it all day long, and just I can munch away all day long. Now on this particular pack, I'm really lucky. I've got these side pockets that are super handy, which I'll have. In this side, I've got my water bladder. Now the water bladder, I love these CamelBaks because they're super convenient. They allow you to drink water steadily all day long. On the other hand, I've had a couple over the years blow out on me. They fail, so it's really important to me to have the water bladder in a pocket that will drain outside of my pack. So in this case, this outside pocket, the water, if it does explode, it'll drain out the bottom of the pack here and not into my gear. On the other side, I've got a fairly compact spotting scope and tripod. So I want to have access to this so I can get at it really quick when I'm on a hunt. So if I stop and see something, I can unzip one pocket, get at it. Got a fairly compact tripod. If I had a larger tripod, I'd probably strap it on the outside of the pack. Down here on the belt, I've got access to my bear spray, which I want to have handy for walking through the woods here. And if on the other side, I've got my rangefinder, and I've got a little spare pocket here that I keep my pocket knife in, and some extra bullets and my clip. So I've also got these two pockets on the side. I do bring a Nalgene water bottle that's usually empty, but I like having it around camp, and it's a backup for when this fails. If it does, it can slide into one of those pockets. And then I've got my trusty EatWild butt pad, foam butt pad that I rely on for sitting on while I'm spotting or around camp, or right now while I'm kneeling, and I have it in one of these outside pockets for easy access. And this pack's great. It's got lots of straps on it to sort of cinch down and suck your whole load in, which is really nice to compress everything in. I've gone ahead and put my rifle on the outside of the pack. There's a little rifle sling, which is handy, but there's a number of ways you can configure your pack to hang your rifle off your pack. I got a couple compression straps to keep it nice and tight there. I'm not, with this type of hunting, we're in the Alpine, you don't have to have, quick access to your gun, because for the most part, you're going to see the animal from miles away, and you can have lots of time to get your gun off your pack. So as long as it's secure and well balanced, that's the key. When things get on the outside of your pack, they're going to want to shift your pack one way or the other. So you want to make sure you're balanced on your weight going on both sides. So I've got my rifle and water bottle on the one side, water bladder, which outweighs my spotting scope on the other. So what I'll do in the interim is, these poles are a pound or two, so I'm going to go ahead and put them on the outside of my pack, just to kind of balance out some of the weight over here. So I want to get a nice balance both ways. I want to have my weight at the center of my pack as close to my pack frame as I can. I want to make sure that the gear that I need to get access to is on the outside of my pack. And then I want to make sure that my pack is well fitted on me as I'm hiking, which we'll show you how to do in the next video. All right, everything's ready to go here. My pack packed up. I just wanted to show you a closer look at how I got things strapped up here. So I've got compression straps going over top of my rifle here, down into the little rifle boot. That's handy. I've got my compression straps across the front here to just suck in the load. Over here, what I've done here, if you ever put anything on the outside of your pack, I would say take a loop and make sure it's buckled in. So this loop is underneath here. So if this gets pulled off when I'm walking through the woods, I'll be able to recover it or still have it attached to my pack. And then, to be honest, I really avoid putting anything on the outside of my pack. If there's room in my pack to put it inside, I will. So I probably will put this inside my pack before I take off, just to keep everything secure. And then you can see the compression straps on the outside as well, keep everything nice and tight. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys, and we'll see you out there.